Dragon Ball FighterZ is the most innovative Dragon Ball game in decades. It lets you put your favorite characters in brand new fighting situations, like Goku vs. Frieza on Namek, or Gohan vs. Cell at the Cell games. Or, all kidding aside, FighterZ looks like it's going to be a great game. A new Dragon Ball fighter made by a developer known for its great fighting games, with gameplay that looks to be both fun and deep, all with a graphical style that makes it look like scenes straight out of the anime, with tons of little references to the source material included. And yet, there was one burning question in the back of my mind the whole time I was watching the reveal trailer, other than why Mr. Satan hadn't been confirmed yet. Where the hiffle is Super Saiyan Blue in all this? Whether you like it or not, Super has established itself as part of the Dragon Ball franchise, and not one that's going to go away anytime soon. I personally find it very strange that any post-2015 Dragon Ball game wouldn't include the main transformation of Super in it. And before you say that the Z in the title of this one means that there's only going to be content from Z in it, have a Golden Frieza. Even if you completely ignore the fact that this gives him a form to turn into during his super moves since his final form is the default in FighterZ, it still makes perfect logical sense to include him in the game. If we're gonna be perfectly reasonable here, there's no way a character like Frieza wouldn't be in one of the fighting games to begin with, but people liked Resurrection F, and he was brought back again in the current arc of Super, so giving him his golden form is kind of like the developers saying, or Toei saying, I guess, hey guys, remember that Frieza guy from the Dragon Ball Z you know and love from being a kid? Well, you can now come watch our new Resurrection F movie, and we've got a shiny new Golden Frieza for you. And here's the really important part. Once you're done with that, you have to watch every single episode of our brand new Dragon Ball Super, cause then you'll see not just Frieza, not just Golden Frieza, but dead Golden Frieza. Also, buy all the merchandise! I don't actually have a good place to fit this in here, so I'm just gonna put it in between these two paragraphs, but it turns out Frieza has even more Resurrection F in his moveset, because somehow you can make Sorbet shoot the laser that he hit Goku with from off-screen. That's actually an attack in the game. That's kinda cool. If they want to advertise Super in the game, it seems really illogical that they'd only do that through Frieza's new form, and not Super Saiyan Blue, which appears much more frequently, and is on two characters instead of just one for double the brand recognition. And yet, Goku goes Super Saiyan 3 with his super and kinda just punches you a lot, and Vegeta just uses the Final Flash and doesn't really transform at all. So, just based on marketing principles, and the game's stated intent on catering to all forms of Dragon Ball, I'm positive Blue is in the game, but if it's not in the movesets of Goku and Vegeta, the only question is where, and I have one possibility, as outlandish as it might seem. It's no secret that Dragon Ball games with story modes don't exactly have original stories, to the point where one of the reasons the Xenoverse games were considered fresh was the fact that they didn't simply retell the 25-year-old DBZ story again. We haven't had confirmation of a story mode yet for FighterZ, but if there's going to be one, I'd wager it'll be at least partially based on Super, since not very many games have come out since Super started, and its story is relatively untested waters for video games so far. The tutorial fight could just be Goku learning how to control Super Saiyan God against Beerus, and then just vaguely follow the plot of Super from there, probably up through the Universe Survival Arc at the latest for some sort of final boss rush thing. It'd be a great way to justify some Super characters being in the roster, and has a big benefit for people who complained about different forms for the same character taking up multiple roster slots in previous games. Goku and Vegeta don't actually have any new moves in their blue forms, they're just a lot stronger. So you could just recolor their hair and change Goku's Super to Kaioken instead of Super Saiyan 3, and bam, you've got the two characters who do 90% of the fighting in Super, in their Super iterations, without changing the moveset at all. So then you just make Blue a skin for the two of them in the normal battle mode, and you're pretty much satisfying everyone in one go. That being said, I could be completely wrong and they're waiting to reveal some sort of literal god mode where you play as Goku and Vegeta Blue, and Beerus and all the other gods of destruction and stuff, and just go flying around destroying planets, or something else to shoehorn the blue forms in the game at all, but my theory makes sense at least to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, or even if it does and you have another idea as to why Blue hasn't been seen in-game yet, please let me know in the comments and we'll try to get an actual discussion going, because I'm probably wrong with my theory, and there are probably people out there a lot smarter than me with theories that are probably closer to being right, so let's get the discussion going so we can actually figure out what is right. That's it for this video, but if you want to hear me talk more about video games, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't really do Dragon Ball content, so you're not going to see other videos about that here, but I probably will be playing a lot of FighterZ once it actually comes out on my Twitch channel, so you can go follow that too, link in the description. If you want to hear me talk more, then I've also got a Twitter, which is probably in the description too, and I might as well leave my Discord contact info in case you want to talk to me directly. Anyway, until next time, which is hopefully going to be more Xenoblade Chronicles X, because I take more breaks on that series than insert joke here. I should have thought of a joke before making this line, but I am Luxon, signing off.